guys.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what is happening right now? Jessica, what is happening right now?
It seems I've opened a bar.
Oh my goodness. And where is this beautiful bar?
Oh, it is in Casa de Jessica.
Hell yeah. It's the move finally happened.
It finally happened.
Oh my God, if you didn't see that saga on TikTok.
Oh man. Go back and watch it. It's fucking wild.
It was too much. Okay.
So to celebrate, I thought I would teach you how to make your very first cocktail.
Yes, we should introduce ourselves first.
Okay.
I'm Callie.
And I'm Jessica.
And we're Reality Check, where we give you all the Las Vegas tea and celebrity gossip. Oh my God. New segment alert. Okay, cocktails. Teach me how to do it.
Okay, so first you're going to take your jigger.
My jigger?
Okay. Then you're gonna pour an ounce and a half. See where that line is right there?
Uh-huh.
That's your ounce and a half.
Okay. I feel like I did that wrong.
All the way up to the line.
Oh, I know. I was just seeing. Okay, make pretty faces.
Okay. All right. So real quick.
Did that
Actually, hold on, real quick. We're making tequila sunrises. So when I make them, I like to add the grenadine in first.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So take your grenadine
Mm-hmm.
and just do a splash. Or, however much you want. I don't really care.
But do it like I do in cooking.
Just, there you go.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
A little more?
A little more on that one.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at me, bitch. Look at me.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, now I'll take
So then you're going to take the ounce and a half.
Pour it in.
Pour it in.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
And you're going to do it again.
Hell yeah. Look at me. Hi. Welcome to my bar. Look, I figured that out. Hi. Welcome to my... Oh, shit.
You're
My
good. That's why
bar.
it's a bar.
Okay.
Then take the orange juice.
And just fill it up.
And just fill it up.
Okay, bitch. How can I help you today? I got you my signature.
Tequila sunrise. Go up a little bit. Yep. That's perfect.
Listen, bitch. Look at me. I can work on a Florida beach. I fucked those old ladies up.
All right.
Yep.
Wow. And then you got your straw.
Yes. Oh my God. Look how adorable. And do we mix?
There you go.
Or just we leave it?
You can leave it. There you go.
All right. I'm ready for my first cocktail.
Grab our bev naps.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm a good bartender.
Delicious.
Listen.
And that's a tequila sunrise.
Ooh.
In other reality TV news, Aaron Goodwin from Ghost Adventures. What a week that guy had.
Darling, do I have opinions on that? Let me... Oh, Jesus. What is...
Oh, well, hello, Calethea.
The new getup.
Oh, my goodness.
First of all, I love it. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. I mean, clearly Callie learned her lesson the last time. Okay, so, darling...
Aaron Goodwin.
I heard this tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Tell me all about it.
So, okay. So Aaron Goodwin from Ghost Adventures marries this woman a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Her name was Victoria. And lately, Victoria, in the last 6 months, maybe a year, I don't know, has been pen paling with a murderer in Florida who murdered his entire family, right? So come to find out, he has a cell phone in his prison cell. So they exchange text messages.
Okay, they're doing it wrong. But continue.
So in the course of all of this, she falls in love with this man.
He must be very handsome.
He is not. Who murdered his entire family. So the prison finds the cell phone, confiscates it, goes through all the messages, and find out, this woman and this prisoner are plotting to have her husband, who is Aaron Goodwin, killed.
Listen, darling, that's wild. And when was this supposed to take place, or was it?
Okay, so what's crazy is this was supposed to take place in October while they were filming Ghost Adventures in Barstow.
Yes.
So she kept him updated with his location and everything, right?
God.
So he clearly had a guy on the outside because, he's in jail. Had a guy on the outside that was willing to do it for $11,000.
Yeah, it was really random, like $11,025. Like, it was random numbers.
So Victoria's like, okay, what do you need from me? And they're like, we need a $2,500 down payment. She goes, cool, got you. Gives the money to him. And thankfully it wasn't carried out.
Yes.
It was supposed to, but again, it was supposed to happen in October, and it didn't. And I don't know why this is all coming out now, but anyways, she was arrested last Wednesday.
Yes.
And Aaron was notified. Aaron lives here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Okay, so he got a phone call
from Clark County,
from the Las Vegas.
They may have done that.
From the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department while he's filming Ghost Adventures. Okay, while he's filming Ghost Adventures, it's like, he's like, bro, dude, whoa, hold on. Hello? Yes, this is Aaron Goodwin. I'm sorry, my wife did what?
For murder.
Gets a phone call from the police saying that his wife had a plot to have him killed. And so she's been arrested. And so the very next day, Aaron files for divorce. He files a restraining order and files for divorce. Aaron also...
I hope he files a restraining order.
He also made sure, obviously, that she wouldn't be getting any alimony.
Yeah, that would be rough.
He also wanted to be paid back the legal fees.
Yes.
And there also in the article was like, there was no chance. Aaron says there was no chance for reconciliation. Like,
oh, darling. So, I will say, I have heard some rumblings within my community, you'll say,
yeah.
Right? Because my hitmen are good. But I will say, I heard some rumblings, and I was told that she was messaging him she said these were just fantasies.
Yeah.
These were just fantasies, and that she never wanted to murder him. She just was messaging an inmate known for killing people, and then when asked about why she spent the $2,500, she's like, well, he needed a cell phone, which kind of makes sense. You got to pay off the guard. Money talks, you know what I mean?
But then she started claiming she didn't remember sending the money or remember doing anything.
Yeah, her story doesn't really make sense. Also, first rule, if you're going to try to kill your husband, don't fall in love with a goblin-looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It just... I need that Ghost Adventures footage.
It's just wild.
But here's the thing, is I've met Aaron a few times, or a couple of times, over the course of the last 15 years, really. So back in 2010, I was friends with Zach.
Yes.
So I met Aaron in Kentucky at Scarefest.
That's right.
And so I was working the Ghost Lab booth.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
And I walk over, and I remember Brad and Barry watching me, and they're like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to go to Aaron's booth. And they're like, why? It was hilarious. Because. So I walk over to Aaron, and I went to introduce myself. I was like, hey, Aaron, I'm Jessica. And he goes, oh, I know who you are. And I was like, oh,
darling.
But he knew who I was because of Zach. And so Aaron and I were super cool the whole weekend. And I was like, okay, this super nice guy. I watched him just be just so excited and happy to be, in that environment. Good dude. Fast forward 3 years, I move here. And they're doing an event at Bonnie Springs.
Oh, yes. That was their spot.
Yep. And Aaron was there. Dakota Layden was there. Eventually Zach showed up, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, when I first met Aaron, I had platinum blonde hair. We're talking my hair was almost white. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
3 years later, I moved to Vegas. I'm back to my natural hair color. And I walk over to Aaron, and I was like, hey, Aaron. And he goes, Jessica, I love your hair. It looks so good.
Oh,
and he gave me like this big hug. And I was like, oh, it's so good to see you. And he's like, you too. And he's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh my God, dude, I live here now. He's like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I hope you enjoy it, you know, and like such a good dude. But again, like Aaron, I have never seen anybody ever talk shit about Aaron, not on any platform. Like, I've never seen anybody have horror stories about Aaron Goodwin, except for some reason Aaron Goodwin's wives. But like,
the second
Aaron
marriage, right?
is yes, but like it was such Aaron's such a nice, genuine dude.
Yeah.
That like something like this happening to like listen, I know that like at the museum Zach had his stalkers and that like they were persona non gratas. I understand that. But like and you know, Zach loved him to death, but dude ended up on the Are We Dating the Same Guy page, right?
Well,
so like
can tell
there
by
were
his
things.
sunglasses.
There were things, you know, like Zach has had his odd behavior over the past 26 seasons.
He took his fame seriously.
But yeah, Aaron is still the same dude. Yeah. And so hearing something like this is like super heartbreaking to me. Also, Zach's worth like $130 million. Mm-hmm. Aaron's worth like $1 million.
Yeah, well, that's because Zach has writer credits, producer credits, production credits, all those.
Well,
credits.
Aaron's got producer credit, but like my point is, $1 million. I mean, is a lot of money to like somebody like me, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot.
No, for listen, if I was going to plot to murder,
like.
I'm not doing it for $1 million.
Calithia is going after Zach and not Aaron.
Yeah, and listen, I'm like, let's be real. I considered having a baby with Elon. That's how much I like money. I mean, was not doing cheap change things. Or Nick Cannon. That one was a little rough, just because I'm like, oh, the baby mamas are so beautiful. But I just like, I mean, for God's sakes, $1 million.
Yeah.
I don't know, darling.
And the bounty was 11,000. Like, it was so funny. Yeah. I walked around work the other day.
100,000.
No, $11,000. Oh, bounty. The bounty was 11,000.
Yeah, the bail was 100,000, but thank God.
She qualified for bail?
Originally, she had set for $100,000, but it had to be approved by a judge. A judge saw her and said no.
No.
So I think that's where the techno, like, we got to do this because
she's
and then you don't
a danger.
Well, and also I just think it's weird. And like another thing, I don't mean to call men stupid all the time, but Aaron, you had no idea your wife wanted to kill you? There was no signs?
No, like
she just didn't stop buying you a good snack.
All of like the social media footage and posts or whatever, like they seem to be very like in love, and she, I don't know.
I think it just proves that social media is bullshit. Listen, the longer the love story and the thing, the worse you are in the relationship. I mean, the longer the love post of "I love you so much, you complete my world, you are everything I want."
I actually have noticed that, even in my own life.
Yes, yeah, it's so obvious.
You know.
And listen, what did I say on Valentine's Day about Nathan? Nothing.
Yeah. I know. Watching everybody else's, like,
I got my chocolate, bitch.
Yeah.
No, yeah, so I don't know. I was like, you didn't know your wife wanted to kill you?
I mean, but when you're gone, like, filming all the time.
That's true.
You know? But, oh, God.
There wasn't one fight that you went, I don't think this bitch wants me around.
They've only been married for 2 years.
Yeah, but the marriage, I think I heard somewhere, got held back because of COVID.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they were together for a while.
Yes, they were. Yes.
Yeah.
They married in 2022, finally, like after the whole COVID thing.
I think they got engaged in like 19.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. I was listening to the rumbles on the street. You know, they could be wrong. But
it's still shocking. Like for to be like of all people, Aaron, I have my own personal Zach stories. And I have my own, like I said, personal, like, Aaron stories, but my Aaron stories are like, he's a genuine, that's like when we met Dustin Perry, when we saw Dustin Perry at that one event, and how, like, genuine he was and how happy he was. That's Aaron. That'd be like That'd be like somebody coming for Dustin like that. Like, that'd be like, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Also, I just got to say, I am so glad nothing happened to him because, I mean, if it did happen in front of like Zach, I'm very selfish, and I'm so glad Holly Madison didn't have to deal with any of this drama. Like, I mean, just like, could you imagine like having to be like, oh, my ex-boyfriend's friend died in front of him.
Yeah.
I gotta go comfort him again. I mean, it just sounds like a lot of work for her. I'm so glad she didn't have to go through it.
So I was working with one of our hosts over at Kimmel's, used to work at the Zach Bagans Museum.
Ooh.
And she's very like, when she would be like, all right, everybody go ahead and get in line. Just so you know, we don't have any restrooms in the building. So if you just go 3 doors down, and like the way that she just introduced everybody to like get ready to go upstairs was very like, I went up to her one day and I was like, Brandy, you should totally go work at the Haunted Museum. And she's like, that's where I came from. I was like, oh, cool. But her and I did our best like Ghost Adventures impressions all weekend. Like, we were literally like, just then, as Aaron gets a phone call from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and as he finds out that his wife is trying to kill him, notice a dark shadow form immediately behind Aaron as a red light just flings out of his head. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Who always gets trapped in the attic or something?
Oh, it's always Aaron.
I'm gonna put Aaron in the basement after he was just told he's gonna be murdered. Good luck. No lights.
Yeah, we are on lockdown.
What was that?
Turns out Aaron's wife needs a good lockdown.
Oh my god! Someone in the comments was like, "Oh, they're gonna claim that she got possessed."
Yes, 100%. Oh, 100%.
Listen,
just then, Aaron's wife gets possessed by a demon.
Also, the guy's so goofy looking. Like, I know I keep on mentioning that, but I don't think you understand. The guy's a goofy looking motherfucker.
Not Aaron. Aaron, I mean, he's
in a good way. But no, the criminal is a goofy looking motherfucker. Yeah. I don't know how you fall in love with that. I think she has some issues.
Grant Amato is what his name is.
It's Grant Amato. It sounds so much like Kelly's last name.
He's a string bean of a dude. Like, I just...
And no hair.
How do you...
Horseshoe hair. Goofy nose. He looks like he doesn't bathe normally and likes to hang out on the internet a lot. He looks like he would have a virtual reality girlfriend that he would go and be like, I'm going to the bar tonight. And then he puts on his little headset and walks into the gamer bar and goes, hey, baby.
That's some like Tiger King shit. Like the murder for hire.
I mean, listen, at least Tiger King had more fun with it.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, man.
At least it made sense with him.
I just,
seems on par for Tiger King.
Yes,
that seems on par. Victoria's just like, what the fuck?
When that Ghost Adventures news came out, I was like,
damn.
I thought it was a joke. I was like, this isn't real. Like, I thought, like, no way.
You had sent it to me, and I was like, damn. Random?
Like, yes. So random.
I thought I was like, she's talking. Well, the reason why it took so long for everything was because they had to find the phone, and then they have to get a code. Once again, we have to go in and we got to talk with Clark County in order to prosecute, and then we also have to deal with Florida police because he was in Florida. Yeah. Listen, the whole thing is confusing. I kind of hope that this was all some like weird sick, like he actually didn't have anybody going after her, and he was just stealing her money for something.
I mean, you know what?
Because like honestly,
because Aaron's still alive, so it never happened,
and no one showed up.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, all the lawyers are like, well, they're going to have to check the records. If he was actually in Barstow on that day, it looks bad. But if he wasn't even there to begin with, we can go with this fantasy story.
Well, he was in Barstow. I'm pretty sure that but the fact that, like, nobody showed up means that, like, that Grant was just taking Victoria's money.
Well, it sounds like she might have paid late. Because, listen, I bet Aaron was like, bank account, why don't you have $10,000 or $9,000?
Yeah. Why is my bank account short?
$9,000.
Why is my bank account short $2,500?
The whole thing is weird. Also, how did she find him? Like, how did she know to message him to begin with?
Listen, okay, so that is their own... I mean, think about all the people who send, like, fan mail to... Oh, no, she found him because it was on, like, a true crime... Like,
oh, that's right. She was on a documentary on Peacock.
Yes. Peacock. There was a documentary about him.
And then she reached out. That's right.
Yes.
Listen,
It's so crazy. Like this.
Listen,
Aaron, I love you. I love you. And this, I'm not gonna lie, this might actually get me to start watching Ghost Adventures again because I haven't watched it in so many years.
Wouldn't it be wild if this was their plot the whole time? That's why he had no idea.
Just then,
just then, Aaron finds out he's being hunted.
watch as Aaron's cell phone rings.
The ghost hunter being hunted. Oh goodness gracious!
Like
darling.
I know, like. It's pretty serious. It really is. But
It is.
when everything's
It's
all
supposed to
said
do
and
it
done,
safe
she's
now.
still in jail.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Grant's probably in solitary confinement. Probably can't talk to anybody for the rest of his life.
And I guarantee you. Well, my first thing was like, why are you sending letters? Because I think when it first came out, they were like, she's sending letters to him, and I was like, you don't think the prison's gonna read your letters?
Well, they probably started out innocent.
Yeah, but you have a high criminal who's killed 3 people. They read all of his letters.
Yeah, I know.
But they didn't even. They didn't.
But I
even
bet
have
you
those.
anything, like each letter,
Yeah.
like he put like the letter that he would send back probably had like a number at the bottom, and then after like 7 letters, that was like his cell phone number.
Oh no, darling. What happened was she paid for the phone, and then someone snuck it in for him.
Oh,
She
yeah.
had the phone number the whole time.
Well, then
It was the communications of like, hey, I'm going to write you a letter. And then in that letter, I'm going to tell you I want to buy you a cell phone. And no one caught that. And then the cell phone gets in, which tells me it might have been a guard.
yeah.
A guard taking an extra paycheck.
This could really, like, as the investigation
messy.
unfolds, this is going to get more sinister
It's messy. I wonder if we'll hear
which
it.
is
because,
super
you know,
on brand for Ghost Avengers.
I know. And I wonder if we're going to hear about it because God forbid if she just pleads guilty and then we never hear about it.
I need that episode.
Listen, there's going to be a true crime documentary about
You
it.
know that Zach's
in a
gonna.
year.
You know that Zach
Produced
is
by
gonna-
Zach and Holly because she's good at that. She's in the murder mysteries and Zach isn't good in the producing and has the money to fund it. And there you go. We're
No,
gonna
but
have
you
a
know
great
that. But you know that
documentary.
Zach's gonna use the footage because they were filming. Zach's
Yes.
going to use that footage for a future episode of Ghost Avengers. We probably won't see it obviously this season, but like
Yes. No footage left undone unless it's part of an investigation and they can't.
for now.
Yes,
I'm not. So I'm saying like not exactly this season, and Ghost Adventures isn't going anywhere anytime soon. That show's been on for 26 seasons.
When does their season end?
The season's about to start.
Oh, we will.
I
think it'll be at the end of the season if
It
we
is
see it
so
this
funny
year.
because I've been talking about like yes, I follow Zach on Instagram, but
Yes.
and yeah, I just follow him on Instagram, and what I think is so funny is I haven't seen any of his posts in forever. Like I'll occasionally see like there's a haunted museum that they're hiring or whatever, but I haven't seen like I haven't seen Zach's posts in a really long time, and because I'm sitting here going, "Yo, Aaron Goodwin," like what immediately comes up is the preview for the next season of Ghost Adventures.
Oh, the time. I bet Zach is just like,
Oh man.
gonna make some money. I bet you're not the only one that watches this season. That's for sure.
You know, here's a fun fact that I think I can tell this story as part of like, you know, like statute of limitations.
Yes.
Because it's been like 15 years. So Ghost Adventures, so Travel Channel
Yes.
was bought out
Yes.
by a long time ago.
Mhm.
It was like Travel Channel and Discovery. They were all like
Yes.
together.
Yes.
And Travel Channel got bought out, and the person that bought it out was like religious and didn't want to do anything paranormal. He didn't want anything paranormal on that network, right?
Well.
So Ghost Adventures went on an 8-month hiatus.
Oh.
And in that 8 months, Ghost Adventures was still the highest rated, all the reruns, still the highest rated show on the entire network.
That is wild.
So they had no choice.
Bring your mom back. Bring
They
that
had
demon
no
back.
choice but to bring that show back and make it the flagship show.
Oh, listen. They're
So-
like, bring that boy back.
Now Ghost Adventures is on HBO Max and Discovery Plus. It's on streaming
I
services
think
now,
Discovery
but it's
Plus is gone now because HBO Max bought them.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but it's so funny because I was sitting at Waffle House.
Waffle House. Nothing good happens at
I was-
Waffle
well,
House.
that's why we have an inside joke called Awful. We called it Awful House. But it was so funny because I said to Zach, I was like, I heard this rumor. Is this true? And he goes, how do you know that?
Oh.
He's like, literally only like a handful of people know that story. How do you know that? And I'm like, oh, I thought that was
common knowledge.
I thought that was common knowledge, because why else would you be, I mean, Brad and Barry told me, but like why else would you be like showing reruns for 8 months and then all of a sudden like Ghost Adventures is the big thing?
And he was like, well, let me tell you about politics and TV. TV is bullshit. Sarah Hester Ross said it
TV
best.
is bullshit.
She really said it best.
So funny. So funny. But yeah, it's just, I can't wait for next season. Not this coming season of Ghost Adventures. I'm going to be definitely looking forward to it. Like, or he'll do like a Ghost Adventures Aftershocks. Like there'll be a special. Like Zach there'll be a special once the whole investigation is said and done, and they like, and Aaron is allowed to talk about it. I'm sure it'll be a thing, because Zach's not going to let that shit go. We're all going to watch.
We were filming, and we thought we were going to hunt some ghosts. This place has I've never seen a Ghost Adventure episode, so I'm just coming up with this out of my butt.
Just then. Have to be like, just then.
The cops come out, and we find out we're not hunting ghosts. We're being hunted. He's going to use that somewhere.
Dude, you just gave me goosebumps. Look at that, bro.
Bro, go in the basement. Listen, Caleithia's left. She's left the building. She was very excited to talk about Aaron. Like a little too excited. But that's okay. That's why we love her.
I mean, it's not even the money that the man is worth is not compared to like the rest of like Caleithia's.
Yeah,
victims.
I mean, definitely not worth her time, but she did have a lot of good points. It was kind of interesting. But moving on, the Gabby Petito documentary on Netflix. Listen, this whole podcast just raised my blood pressure. The whole week, I was like,
so,
what?
You know what? So it actually was kind of like triggering for me a little bit because of how like of who I moved to Vegas with, like how I got to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, I felt that. But I mean, going on, well, I guess, because I traveled from Georgia to here, like in a car and all that kind of stuff. But theirs was, it was just so wild, because did you think that one girl was like completely irrelevant in the whole thing, and she just kept talking about
she comes right at the beginning.
I'm pretty sure she was like in love with she was in love with
Yes.
Brian the whole time.
Listen, the whole thing was weird. So it starts off. So a quick overview of who these people are. So Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were a couple. They met in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they met in high school and they started dating, and they're both like camper RV people or like van people. And so she created a YouTube channel to document all her things. But and then she got murdered. And by Brian, and then there was a lot of shady things that followed through, and that's kind of what the documentary is going over. So the documentary is called look at me, American Murder, Gabby Petito, on Netflix. And it was just wild. So like the friend, like in the first 10 minutes, like I was friends with Gabby and Brian, and I was like, girl, you added nothing to this. Like
there was no reason.
Weird. And I mean, I think honestly, okay, in my honest opinion, I only cared until episode 3.
Yeah,
the first 2 episods, I was like, okay, I get it. The first 2
episodes, it was just kind of like a recap, things we already knew, things that were already in the news. That they had a fight, and they had a fight. It was called in by someone else. The police showed up, pulled them over.
Mm-hmm.
And they took, like, Gabby's got scratches all over her,
and so did he.
So did he, but like, she's 100 pounds.
Yeah. Listen,
and they took him to a victim shelter.
And when we talked about this, when we were on KCR, I even said, I was like, if this was the other way around and a woman had scratches like as bad as Brian had, he would have been arrested.
100%.
And I think that would have saved her life, as horrible as that sounds. Yeah. I think that would have saved her life. I mean, this man, you watch all this footage that they're kind of slowly airing, and he's just huffy puffing around, slamming doors.
Yeah.
I mean, even from the get-go, he started isolating her from her parents.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning, isolating her from her friends. She moved to Florida with him. She stayed with his parents. don't get me started on that mom.
Oh my God. You know what? You know whose mom she reminded me of?
Mm-hmm. And somehow she's still worse.
Like, there was a lot of, I feel like this in a couple different ways could have been me.
Well, like, definitely there would have been, if it would have gotten that out of control and something would have happened, his mom would have absolutely covered his butt. Because we're going to get into this burn after reading letter.
Oh.
And as a boy mom, it's like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So, Brian was always a troubled kid. He used to draw a bunch of creepy drawings.
Yeah.
And, like, no one thought, maybe he needs some therapy, but that's okay. That's all right. I guess that happens. So Brian actually proposed to Gabby without a ring. And then, okay, I'm sorry. This is where her parents start to say dumb shit. Dumb shit.
Proposed to Gabby without a ring.
Yeah, and then the dad's like, I don't know why you didn't ask for permission. Because he didn't like you.
Happened to me too. Like, all these things. Kelly, you were there for that.
I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah, like all these. In so many ways, could have been me.
In so many.
But it was because that way it's like, oh, it never happened. But like, she could sit there and go fiance, and he could sit there and like cheat on her with that one chick, and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it was all weird.
I didn't even think it goes that far for him. See, this is the problem that I think a lot of people, like I've been watching TikToks and stuff, people are giving him too much credit.
Yeah.
It's like, no. People don't think that hard into things. Like, in these sudden movements, people don't think that hard into things. So, like, when the dad was like, I'm surprised he didn't ask me for her hand in marriage. Why the fuck would he do that? He's trying to isolate her from you.
Yeah.
What kind of statement is that?
Mm-hmm. Like, abusive people are like that.
I don't know why they danced around the abuse issue.
Yeah. No,
I don't think they ever came out and said it.
He was angry. Like, he was like an angry dude. He was like narcissistic and like she just wanted, but here's the thing is like, she just wanted to like travel around in a van, do a vlog. That's what she wanted to do. It was her dream with another guy. And I think he went along. So Brian went along with it. And he were like, I mean, to me, like when I watched her ex-boyfriend, like, oh, this, like I saw her traveling around doing her like vlog or whatever. I thought that was, I mean, it kind of like made me sad because that was our dream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, the ex-boyfriend.
But I'm glad that she's getting to do it. So I'm thinking that like Brian held it over her head the entire time, just knew that like, oh, we're only doing this because another guy wants you to do it. Or like you were supposed to do this with another guy.
No. This was her dream. This wasn't anybody else's dream.
No, but it was hers and like the other guy.
I understand. That's what he wanted, but I promise you, if Gabby didn't like that, he wouldn't like it either. Hence why he's not living in a van either. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of these people are getting credit. No, the ex-boyfriend had the dream because he was in high school and wanted to get his dick wet and thought it would be cool to live in a fucking van with his girlfriend and not his parents' house. You know what I mean? You got to think like a 17-year-old. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, even that. So, like, this was Gabby's dream. Yeah. This whole time. She, like, and I'm not even saying she's trying to be manipulative. This was her personality. So this is what she was going to attract regardless. So, like, because later on we find out there's a point where she's like, I can do this by myself. Yeah. And so, which to me was like, she was too afraid to do it by herself. And then she got the courage to do it by herself. And so, but yeah, so like you said, they got pulled over for that domestic violence thing, which there's the body cam footage of that. Which was disturbing in and of itself. Yeah. And they just took him off to a DV center. To stay the night, and she got to stay in the van, which I think she wanted to stay in the van. Yeah. Like, she wanted to be left alone in her van. Yeah. So then Gabby reached out to her ex after all this happened. I think someone found the text messages. I think someone found the text messages, or he was planning this the whole time and made the messages himself because he knew the ex-boyfriend was such a simp for her and wanted to have an alibi. Like, look, I think was the catalyst in him killing her. Yeah, he found the text messages. No, I know, but that was the catalyst. I know, but I think Brian Laundrie might have sent those text messages. Oh yeah, and then he got on his phone and sent money and all that stuff. He did everything he could to cover it up. No, you're talking about a different situation. I'm talking about Brian Laundrie sending the ex those original messages. Oh. Yes, to make up for an alibi because he knew he was going to lose his shit on her one day.
So you don't. Okay. So do you think that maybe she was dead before he was gone?
No. I think he was trying to find a reason to break up with her and trying to get information because he started acting really jealous towards the end.
Yeah.
So I think he was trying to see if there was really anything going on. But like, well, I don't know. It's hard to say because every time she messaged the ex-boyfriend, they were separated.
Yeah.
And so it was like, was she trying to get him to show up and do the van travels with her? Or was sometimes like
I think she was trying to. She wanted help. Like she wanted him to come out and get her.
Well, because I go, then why didn't we call mom and dad? Because both of those people were very willing to go get their daughter, and sounds like capable to.
But I think maybe she didn't want to admit defeat.
But she did admit defeat to her mom when she was like, "I'm going to do this by myself."
Yeah.
Why not come pick me up?
I don't know.
See, this is where it's starting to get weird for me because she was seen on August 27th.
Yes.
So yeah, she reaches out to her ex. She so another thing that's really weird, they start trying to look for Gabby because now Gabby's gone missing, right? Gabby's gone missing and her parents are trying to look for him. And immediately when Gabby's parents try to reach out to Brian's parents, they block them.
Yeah.
And like, what?
Block him and immediately ask for a lawyer.
That's weird.
Like, because Brian, so after she went missing, Brian called his parents, told them, I'm pretty sure he told his parents everything and said, I need a lawyer. And then when the police showed up at Brian's parents' house just to say, hey, have you seen Gabby?
Yeah.
They were immediately like, talk to our lawyer. So it's like, oh, wait.
And then the cop was like, well, this isn't even your van. It's Gabby. So we're going to tow it. And the guy was like, and he go, okay. The mom's face in that body cam, though, to me, she looks terrified.
Yeah.
Because she fucking knows something. She's weird. So, yeah, she's gone missing. They're not being cooperated with the cops. The family... and then the body cam footage comes out. And Gabby Petito's family sees the body cam footage, and they just feel completely let down by the police.
Oh, yeah.
Which I had been saying she probably should have gone to jail that night. Because there was scratches and stuff, and she was causing craziness. Like, even if it was protecting herself, that would have caused a good separation. And I feel like it would have, like, jarred the parents enough to do something.
Right.
So, anyways, so the family gets blocked, all this other stuff. The cops go in surveillance, but because people are so upset about this, they're, like, blocking the surveillance cameras from getting any surveillance on Brian.
Yeah.
So people are so outraged in front of the house, it makes it impossible to find Brian and the evidence they need, which I know people were mad, but like, guys, you got to let them do their job. None of this shit happens in 24 hours. No. Like, it takes time to get a warrant. It takes time to do the investigation you need. Hence why, like, why things don't get done tomorrow. Yeah. Like, Blake Lively's trial is going to take, 2 years or something ridiculous like that? Yeah. So it's like, it's all crazy. They finally do get a warrant for the house. And they find this fucking letter. And it says, burn after reading from mom.
That letter gave me such...
Chills.
I started... Yes. And it kind of made me... Like, I just got so angry. Like... She was literally like, I will help you bury the body. I will help you do this.
I'll get a shovel.
Everything you need, whatever you need, I'm there. I will do it. And I'm like,
yeah.
She knew. So why is this woman not in jail? Like, they found...
well, I actually haven't... Listen, because we'll get to your theories too. But yeah, no, I don't understand. She was like, if you go to jail, I will bake you a cake and put a file in it so you can escape. I mean, truly, she was like, I will take... If she could have taken the blame for this murder, she would have.
Yeah.
She would be like, okay, I'll do it. You didn't do it. You try to stop me. I'm a bad mom. Like, it's fucking wild how much she protects this boy, which I'm like, are you really protecting your daughter this way? I don't think so.
You mean her?
Yeah.
The other daughter.
Yeah, Brian's sister.
Brian's sister, like, she seemed a little bit off too, because I feel like
crazy too.
Because but she also said that, like, her parents weren't talking to her either.
I don't know. There's a weird connection after this, but yeah, and then magically Brian goes missing.
Like, immediately. No, so he went camping Okay, first of all, they had like a family camping trip right when he got back, which was weird. Why?
They all knew she was
camping.
dead.
You went camping for like 3 months, like all summer. You were gone camping basically, and you're gonna come home and go camping some more with your parents.
Vegas baby shows up to your house with the van that's not registered to him, without the person it's registered to, and he can't tell you where she is, and you're supposed to go, okay, honey, let's go camping. I have one or two questions.
I think they were scoping out.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. They were absolutely like doing their thing, if not a farewell thing, like a farewell, like let's get together. So an influencer, so Brian goes missing. Now 2 people are missing. An influencer was at the campsite that they were at.
Yeah.
And she was looking through footage because she was trying to help. And she found Gabby and the van behind her.
Lo and behold. Yeah, they had everybody searching. And well, they initially changed the timeline because they weren't there. And they're like, no, we weren't there at the time. And then like the timeline changed. And they're like, oh, okay. So then they went through all the rest of their footage and they're like, oh my God, there it is.
Got it. Yeah, so they were able to send it, which I gotta say, they posted it on social media before they sent it to the cops. Wild work. Listen, that influencer needed her milk.
I feel like, yeah, but I mean, but the thing is like TikTok has, like social media and TikTok have become like, have become so like mainstream that I feel like I joke about like the Swifties. If we were promised Reputation Taylor's version, if we solve the mystery of the Zodiac,
we're dealing with someone's murder.
But we would be able to figure that out through like the Swifties and TikTok. So you just never,
Why are we sending it on social media first and not the cops? You still have that video after you just send a copy to the cops. You can still keep it. You can still post it.
Because I bet you anything if she sent it to the cops first, they probably wouldn't have let her post it.
At that point, they were actively searching for her.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't let him post it? Maybe. I just thought it was
because it's evidence in an investigation.
Yeah, I just think it's funny
that's probably why.
Yeah, but at the same time, she absolutely did that because she even said, she's like, and I got 1 million views within the first 12 hours. Oh, I bet you did, bitch.
Bet you did.
I bet you did. That's okay. That's what journalists do all the time. I mean, look at fucking Kobe and all that tragedy. That's what journalism does. It's awful. So they finally find Gabby. They find her by the campsite, kind of sort of like down in like a ditch. She doesn't have shoes on. She's not in a natural position.
She's like curled up, like almost like fetal position. She's got a hood on, like she's got a hoodie on, and it's like kind of over her head. You still see her hair, and you could tell it's Gabby, which is very important. Like the amount of time that she's been gone, she's still Gabby. You can still see her.
Yeah.
Right? So then when Brian goes missing, things get weird.
And so they tell us that they find Gabby's body. They start to connect some things. They start to see that like her cell phone was left at the van, and then he had texted her or something like that, or like he had sent her a text. There was text messages going on between them, but when they looked at it, it was enough time for like Brian to go drop off her body, come back, and then it was obvious that they were he was just texting on one phone and then picking up the next.
Yeah.
And then texting on one phone and then picking up the next. Like, it was obvious. It was pinging at the same exact location every time.
Nobody figured that out. Like,
I mean seriously.
Come on.
Your mom came up with a system to burn after reading, which I'm curious to know how many of those actually existed.
Mm-hmm.
I got a juicy theory at the end. It's funny. And then they also found a Zelle transaction to Brian for gas and shit like that, like for $700. Dog the Bounty Hunter got involved. He was like, I want these motherfuckers.
Dude, when Dog the Bounty Hunter gets involved, like, shit's real. Like, he's not fucking around. I love that guy.
Me too. It's so dumb.
I bet you anything if he found Brian alive, he probably would have given him like a come to Jesus discussion.
Oh, well, Brian's a sociopath, so I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, but Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He'd be like, you changed your life, you want a cigarette? Where's Beth? Oh, shit.
Anyway.
Womp womp. So then magically at a park, there is a complaint about a car being left at the park too long.
Okay, so you're telling me this was all super. Okay, so okay, they go searching for Brian. Thousands, like hundreds of people go searching for it, like hours on end, days, hours on end.
Yeah.
Right? Brian's parents show up and they find like his car sitting there and they fucking find his body within an hour. Oh, there it is.
And a mile away.
A mile away. Oh, hey, there it is. They knew exactly where his body was. That's why, like, that family camping trip, they were scoping out, like, he probably said, I'm going to kill myself, or, like, his mom probably killed.
Yeah.
Something probably happened. So either he killed himself or somebody in the family killed him, and they had it all planned out, and then, so they pretended like they didn't know where he was, and they filed a missing persons report. Everybody goes searching for him, and then they find him. They figure, okay, we could probably be all right to go find him now. So they go out and help with the search, and they find him within an hour, a mile away. No.
Well, yeah, so the car goes missing. There's this big-ass search. There's alligators. The dogs can't do anything. There's heavy rains. And magically, a mile away, they find his bones.
His bones. He wasn't missing near as long as Gabby was.
No. And also, I'm sorry. Well, here's another thing, too. If they would have just, like, I'm sorry, throw yourselves to the alligators. They'll fucking tear you to shreds, and it will be quick and done quickly. So I was like, oh, if we just want to be missing. But yeah, so that was weird. Yeah, it was like a mile away and next to his boots with waterproof paper that he wrote his suicide note on. Motherfuckers. I even said, girl, those letters were so dumb. In those letters, he was like,
waterproof paper?
Yeah, he wrote a suicide note on waterproof paper.
What's waterproof paper?
It's for like little like journals and stuff when you go out and about hiking and stuff. But like, it's just like a thicker. It's got like a resin on it almost. It's kind of, like it's just got I don't know. It's fucking weird. I think it's just a convenient, you know.
Yeah.
And then it says stuff like, oh, we were hiking and she fell into the water and she was struggling in a stream because they found her by like a stream or whatever. And like she was struggling in the stream. And so I picked her up and I grabbed her and she was screaming in pain. So I killed her for a mercy kill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about it because then like but then the autopsy report was like, no. None of that happened.
None of that happened. None of it happened. It made no sense. So that was weird. And then, yeah, mom's letter is just next level. I fully think that Brian's family needs to go to jail.
The whole thing. The whole family. Well, mom and dad.
Mom and dad. I think sister, too.
I
think sister might have known more than she wants to lead on.
And obstructing justice.
Exactly. And then Gabby Petito's family made a foundation to help with domestic violence victims. And then they also really got into the missing Indigenous people advocacy because after this, they realized like, oh my God, there's so many missing people within this range. Mm-hmm. And my daughter got so much attention and these people do not even get anything. And it was interesting to hear the dad's side going like, that's ridiculous because you know, he was just trying to find his baby. Yeah. But then when he took himself out of it, he could see how mad he would be if roles were reversed. And it's nice to, like, hear someone admit to that. You know what I'm saying? And, like, be able to take their own pain aside. But, yeah, so that's really nice. Okay, final thoughts. What are your final thoughts? Because originally you said you thought he was alive.
There's a few theories about Brian still being alive because... Mm-hmm. His bone, like he was down to the bone. Yeah. And it was like his uncle was a dentist and his uncle was the one that identified him through his dental records.
Do we know that for sure? Because they didn't say that in the documentary.
I don't know. I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, so that's what true. I mean. Like, I was like, but is that part true? Because I was waiting for like that type of shit to come out. And it was like, because I don't think he's alive necessarily, but I don't think that was mommy's plan. You know, like
I mean, either that. I mean, he could be in Europe. He could be in like Australia or something. He could be anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, right. It's weird that like that level of composition when. I mean, even like Gabby was out in the elements too, and you could still see it was Gabby.
Elements. Yeah, because we have to remember those swampy. Like,
yeah, he was in the swamp, she was in the desert.
But that's why I kind of go too, like, none of the alligators got you. Like, because if the alligators get you, you wouldn't get bones.
Yeah, but even if there were bones, you would see the bite marks.
Yeah,
from the alligators.
Yeah, you would see something,
like the evidence of it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't think he's alive. But what I think happened was Mom was fully ready to hide him. Yeah, Mom was fully ready to keep him alive. Everything. And so he went off on this hike and just did it himself. Mm-hmm. Like, he was like, I can't let my mom do this, because I think
that's a huge burden to put on a family.
Yeah, I don't think he cares that much. No. But I do, or his mother. It's a huge burden to put on his mother. Yeah. Because I think that's probably the only person he cares about. And because I think if he was hiding, all the cops would have to do is arrest Mommy. Yeah. Make her punishment real bad. Make it very public so it was aired everywhere. Make it a social thing, because I would believe he would come out running. Yeah. He would be like, no, not Mommy. Not my mama. I love mama.
No, I think, well, yeah, I mean, I don't think he'd want his mom to suffer that way, but also she's willing to do it. I mean, she said so in that letter, in the burn after reading letter, she was willing to go down for it.
And like, I kind of feel like they talked about their plans and what was going to happen with the burn letter, so they can just burn it right after. I think it's very telling that he also didn't burn that before committing suicide.
I think maybe he was trying to expose his mom.
And yeah, I think so too, a little bit.
Because I wonder if it got, like, if his mom being that involved even bothered him to a point where he was like, okay, like,
I bet it's some weird, like, well, because there's another like serial killer that, like, his mom molested and raped him a lot. It's kind of gross.
Norman Bates,
probably. And yeah, I don't remember which one I'm thinking of, but like, it's like
Norman Bates.
Yeah, probably Norman Bates. And like, it just kind of made him you know what I'm saying? Like, too much motherly love, which that's an extreme. I don't know what Brian Laundrie Mom's doing. But I gotta say also, wow, what a bunch of police forces just failing the Petito family. Yeah. I mean, in every part of this country, someone fucked them over. I mean, we're talking Utah, we're talking Wyoming, we're talking Florida, or even because like she had a call in New York, but then she couldn't put the missing person in New York, and then she called in Wyoming, and then they were like, oh, we can't take a missing persons because that's not where she lives. Yeah. And then Florida was like, why are you calling us for a missing person in Wyoming?
Listen, our justice system, our entire justice system needs an overhaul. Like, everything needs an overhaul.
It's so messed up. But yeah, the mom raised my blood pressure. I just think it's like, oh, come on, girl, you can't love your kids that much. I mean, you can love your kids that much, but you don't. Like, I would murder for Vegas, baby.
But that letter, that burn after reading letter, was like very Norman Bates, very like incestuous, like very
like, my little boy has to love somebody else. I just think it's weird how her whole family wanted. Also, I mean, I don't want to try to talk bad about Gabby's family, but like, when they because they were noticing weird communication styles way before they took that trip.
If I were her mom, I would have gone to get her. I'd like, no questions asked.
Yeah, I would have hopped on a plane.
No, and I don't care. You think you're like, no, Mom, I'm safe. No,
let me go get you. Let me get him home. I'll put him on a fucking plane. We'll do it on the way back. Because listen, oh my God, my mom entered the chat randomly. We're gonna have a girls trip on the way back home because fuck that guy. Yeah, what a great content. Yeah, would have made her a bunch of money. Listen, that's what's really sad is like. This sounds awful. It's like, you could have made a bunch of money. Me being that fucking, I got 1 million views in 12 hours. Yeah. But like, no, I don't know. The whole thing is sad, and another reason for me to never go camping.
Yeah. I mean, I was never gonna go camping. No, I wasn't gonna go to like the camping thing, but it was like another reason to like really just. Let's think about the guys we date, guys.
I know. Ladies. She was so young and dumb, though.
I know. I relate. I could relate. About it.
No one could have told you nothing. You know what I mean? I was the same way. No one could have told me anything about the person I was with. If it was bad, good, otherwise cheating, not cheating, I would have been like, no, but this. I mean, it's so unfortunate for her age because it's such like her age group. And like that is when we hear people that deal with domestic violence, it's normally in that age group. Yeah. And it's just so sad. Why do we do that, ladies? I'll love you more.
Because we're dumb.
We are. Now another way to get my blood pressure boiling.
So Casey Anthony joined TikTok, which was very short-lived.
Oh my God, I blocked her. I was like, you are not getting a dirty red cent from a view like me. Nope.
That was Casey Anthony giving legal advice.
Yeah, she gets on TikTok and she's like, I was a legal advocate. For who? Yourself? Not for your baby.
That's like Jim Jones giving cocktail recipes.
That's like, I wasn't going to say that. I don't know. But like, it's just like, that's like OJ writing a book if I did it.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's exactly what that is. Exactly what that is.
Bitch, go home.
That is 100% what that is.
So Casey Anthony, for those who are maybe too young or don't know, she was this young mom who had a 3-year-old, a little personal for me. And the baby goes missing for like 30 days.
Yeah.
And mom's on a party spree.
Yeah.
And finally grandma calls in and goes, okay, I don't know where my grandbaby is. And even the 911 operator's like, why did you wait so long? She goes, because I was told other information.
Yeah.
And then Casey Anthony was kind of cornered and mom forced the phone on her.
Yeah.
And so it was just awful. I mean, partying. Like, and then apparently the nanny was threatening to withhold her child from her. So
Zanny the nanny.
Yeah. And instead of just like, you know, being like, hey, 911, I need to get my kid back. She's holding my kid from me. This is kidnapping. Yeah. She's like, stay with the nanny. I got a party to go to. And then of course the wonderful Nancy Grace.
Nobody hates Casey Anthony more. I mean, like, listen, the entire world hates Casey Anthony. I mean, we're talking like you might be liberal, you might be Republican, but we all hate Casey Anthony. But if you take all that hate as an entire world put together, you still don't get the amount of hate that Nancy Grace has for Casey Anthony.
Oh, and she's like,
bitch came out of retirement.
Well, actually, she's had that YouTube show this whole time.
Yeah, but I still feel like she came back on.
Put her back on the map.
It put her back on, like,
I don't know. She gets good views though too. It's weird. Nancy Grace has a very particular. Like, she does the same exact show just on YouTube. Yeah. That's what cracked me up. I was like, bitch hasn't changed a bit. Yeah. This bitch has got the same hair, got the same makeup. Yeah. Like, she doesn't even age. Nope. You know? She has not even aged. And so she goes on and she goes, Casey Anthony. And she spent 44 minutes telling everyone why this woman was a bad mother, showed all the proof. Yeah. Got people on board, was like, so how would decomp work with the duct tape? And I mean, went into Nancy was like, oh, no. If this bitch is coming out, I'm going to remind everybody what the fuck happened. And what really got me, like, obviously hearing the story as a mom of a 3-year-old, I was like, I'm sorry, if my baby was away, like, if he was MIA and I couldn't find him for more than 10 minutes, I'd be like,
where's my kid?
Where are you?
Yeah.
So, like, the whole thing is weird. But Nancy Grace, she was so funny. I do got to say, she made some funny remarks, which I was like, that's not how that works, but that's how YouTube works. So Nancy Grace goes, she has 3 million views on that, and she's making money on it if there's ads. I was like, that's not how TikTok works.
No.
That's how YouTube works. Ding dong. But it's okay. I just showed her age a little bit. It made me giggle.
Casey Anthony had 60,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah. So the 60,000 of you that followed her, shame on you.
Fuck you. Like, honestly, like, what do you think she was going to say? Like, I couldn't even, like, and she has a pride tattoo on her arm. I'm like, don't belong to the community. We don't want you. Like, I promise you they don't want you either.
She was like, I want to be a legal advocate for those who need it, because I felt like I needed it back then. I didn't have it when I was going through stuff with my baby, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
she's trying to sound like Gabby Petito's parents. Like, oh, I wish they would have arrested her that night, or Brian that night. No, she's like sitting there like, I left my baby for 30 days, didn't know where she was, and like, no one helped me. Bitch!
Do you remember when she took the police all the way to like the back office at Universal?
Yes. I forgot about that until you just said that right now. I was like, that sounds right.
That's like, that lives in my mind like rent free. Like, they literally like took her back and she's like waving at people and they're all like, who the fuck are you? And then she gets all the way back. She's like, I'm just kidding. I haven't worked here in like 5 years.
I mean, the whole thing is wild. I mean, she really sent a goose chase. I want to know who, like, the jury, like, you found her innocent? And my mom said she watched it and she was like, yeah, the case was like emotionally driven and you can't necessarily use emotion.
Yeah.
You know, and I get it as an almost jury duty juror.
Yeah.
You can't use that, but I don't give a fuck. I would put her in jail. I would have been like, send this bitch to jail.
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing with that. Send that bitch to jail. Oh my goodness. Fuck that cunt.
Yeah, it was no, like I turned on my TikTok one day and it was like somebody had like she has her privacy settings so you can't stitch it, you can't stitch her video, you can't do edit, so people are like saving the video and using it for like their like a green screen thing. Yeah. But then they're like, did you guys see like Casey Anthony is on TikTok? And then they would like just replay her video and you're like, this can't be real.
Well, and also I think a little bit of that, it's like this kind of goes back to the Gabby Petito thing. I know you're trying to do good, but giving her this platform and allowing her to make money on this is wild because regardless of how we feel about it, that money still went to her. Yeah. Well, I don't know. She got banned. She got banned on TikTok. Mm-hmm. So they might have stolen her money and said, fuck no, bitch.
Yeah.
Ruby Franke and fucking Jody Hildebrandt.
Oh, man.
I would like to give you a quick overview because I don't think, and I told Jessica this over the phone, I don't think you understand. I have been watching hate videos on 8 Passengers, which is Ruby Franke's YouTube channel, for like 7-8 years because I truly despise the woman and always have. I found out she took her son's bed away, which we'll get into, and I actually have the story behind
that's the catalyst because I think
that's what popped her off.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, people on YouTube like followed her anyway, but then like she had her YouTube followers, but then it wasn't until like she took her kid's bed away that the whole world knew about her. Yeah,
and so we'll definitely get into that. And the reason that they put in the documentary, they didn't even give the reason why they did it. I have the full reason why they did it because I was there in real time. But okay, so Ruby Frank, they're Mormon. She has 6 kids. She called them 8 Passengers. It was just like a family vlog about what Mormon mom does. And I will say she has always been very clear about her religious beliefs. She has been like, if you want to have a good, healthy, God-loving marriage and family, this is what you do. She's really always pushed that. But she's always been, and it's hard to explain, and I think a very small niche will understand what I mean. She falls into that conservative, religious, strict family. And it is a like Duggar type strict family where these rules are almost sometimes unattainable by children. Ruby Frank's 5-year-old forgot his lunch at home, and she refused to bring it to him. Let her 5-year-old starve. Like, sorry, honey. Which, by the way, free lunch programs would provide him a meal. And I've always said this, and it's because of her. Rich people don't feed their children either. And I have always said that, and that is because I know for a fact Ruby loves it when her children fucking forget their lunch because she brags about it in the car. She records the phone call conversation with her and her kid at school saying, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Maybe you'll learn your lesson next time. And then they get in the car and then she films them again. And it's like, are you hungry? Well, that's a consequence. How hungry are you? I bet you're so hungry.
I just watched the documentary, so I didn't see any of this.
Give the kid a fucking Cheez-It. Like, oh my God, give the kid a goldfish. Like, he's 5. This is his first time ever going to school.
Yeah.
He's only known his mother to bring him snacks. Anyways, blood pressure is rising, Jessica. So this is that kind of woman. And so I've never enjoyed her. Jody Hildebrandt. I'm going to name some characteristics of her. Jody Hildebrandt was referred to people by the Mormon Church. Interesting, the documentary never mentioned that. Little side note, I learned all of this from a beautiful podcast called Mormon Stories.
This sounds a lot like Scientology.
Oh, yes, actually, I'm not going to lie. The Mormons and the Scientologists with the money and everything. Oh my God, yes.
It's
absolutely.
similar.
Absolutely. It's weird. So, Jody Hildebrand, when the Mormon church offers to give you counseling because they see you're struggling and they want to offer that to you, they have permission to call up your therapist at any time and get a complete lowdown on what you said and figure out what all your sins are. So there's already an ethics thing going on there that I'm like, that's uncomfortable, because if you're willing to do that as a therapist, that means your ethics aren't there. So Jody Hildebrandt had this niece who was filled with sexual sin and would walk her and would sit her down and tie her up to things and force her to talk about her sexual sins. And when she said, I'm not doing that, you're a liar. You're a liar. What are your sexual sins?
That's like the Scientology.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. The hand things.
Yeah.
The self-truth tellers.
Yeah.
Things. Listen. Yeah. So she would sit there, and then the girl told so many lies. So Jody put duct tape on her mouth and walked her around the Mormon church, and no one did a fucking thing because Jody is high society, up top Mormon, even though her kids don't talk to her husband don't talk to her. So it's interesting. Just remember these things: duct tape, being tied up to things, totally, sexual sin, you're a liar. Remember those things. Another guy, different story. Another guy, he goes to Jody because he was recommended by the Mormon church to go there to help save his marriage. He has to go to a men's group. Remember these things. He's got to go to a men's group every night. And in that men's group, Jody talks about sexual sin and how he's a devil and how he needs to admit to his sexual sin. And then he would be called a liar by Jody because clearly he had sexual sin. That was the demon destroying the marriage. And then Jody convinced his wife to leave the house. And then after that, she isolated the children from him, and he is still fighting legal battles to even see his children 15 years later. So this is Jody Hildebrand. Really uptight people. Okay, so that's there. The documentary, Jessica's like, oh my God, these people are awful from the beginning.
Well, I don't understand. Okay, this sexual sin, but don't Jody and Ruby like get together?
It was possession. No, listen. Listen. We'll come back to that because I'm pissed off about it too. So Jody, who I think also you project, you know what I mean, your insecurities.
Yeah.
And when you truly believe being a lesbian sends you to hell, what do? It's bad. It's horrible. It's bad. It's horrible. I can't be this. No, I can't do that because the religious psychosis takes in. Anyways, so the document starts off talking about the whole entire 8 passengers thing, talking about her dumbass husband, Kevin, and how he was like, I found a list. Mormons love doing this. Religious people, I should say. I found a list of all the things that she prioritized in a husband, and I made sure I was all of those.
That was crazy.
I was like, okay, so we started off a little weird from the beginning.
I mean, we could, like, as girls, like, we could all be like, oh, I want him to, like, be like an athlete or have blonde hair or like like we fantasize about shit when we're like young or like we want like Ken or a Ken doll, but then like then we like get older and we're like, okay, that's not realistic, and then I still sit back and go, I don't know, man, I love David Boreanaz, but that's just a fantasy. That's not, I don't expect the man I'm with to like
I will
be
say
that,
yeah, I will say this is where I so feel the religious mumbo jumbo that causes this turmoil. I wrote about 5 lists in high school of my perfect husband.
Yeah,
in
we
church.
all do. We all
no, in church.
Oh, okay. I was like,
and then
done that.
I had to sit there and compare that partner at the time to my list. And if it wasn't godly enough, then we weren't equally yoked. And if we weren't equally yoked, we weren't meant to be with each other. We're fucking 14. We're 14. Oh, and at the end of all this, we have to sign a contract to God promising that we would wait till marriage. I was told not to make promises I didn't want to keep. So I didn't sign one. So, yeah. We're talking crazy religion. This is common. BYU, girls go to BYU to get married, not to get an education.
Yeah.
And if you're at the end of your freshman year at BYU and you don't got one of these, God forbid if you're graduating without a husband. You are a dirty red old whore. They're 24. They're 22.
That sucks. Because BYU has the greatest mascot in college sports.
Yeah, because they're fucking weird Mormons.
Cosmo the Cougar, man.
So Ruby is shown to be screaming at the kids all the time. Shut the fuck up, no cussing, but just like being really aggressive. There's things that she says. Everyone gets $10 per video. Do you want your $10?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. When I got to that part, I was like, you're making thousands. Like you're making $10. $10. Because she had them all set up as employees for this show. So technically, you're paying your employees $10 a video, which should be against child labor laws.
Well, that's what California's trying to do right now, because the vlogging channels get away with not dealing with child labor laws and also not having to pay into the actor fund.
Yeah,
they don't have to pay into that. And I'm going to be very honest with you. The Franks do not have the money to support their children like they should have. Like the money that they should still have in their pockets from the amount of millions they made is just not comparable. So she said that really cracked me up. Okay, so let's talk about Chad for a moment. So Chad is the oldest son, and Chad's bed got taken away for 7 months.
This is what skyrocketed.
Yeah.
The story of Ruby Frankie.
Chad did a couple things that led up to the bed being taken away. The funniest one, you want to cackle, because I think this is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. So Chad thought it would be funny in the middle of the night to wake up his little brother and tell him they were going to Disneyland. So he goes and packs them all up. This is so mean. This kid packs all the stuff up. Chad helps him pack a bag. And then he goes, we're not going to Disneyland. Kid's wailing. He's like, Mom! And he's crying for hours. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. It pained my ass, but it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. I was like, don't take the kid's bed away for that. So that was the final straw. I think that was an innocent prank. Like, yeah, it was dumb. Now I feel bad because I think it's the same kid that was trapped, that was like caged up and stuff. And I'm like, that kid really got the shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
So he did that. But he also was like pointing BB guns in people's faces.
Oh,
that's a big punishment. I would choose something other than the bed. And he also got expelled from school. So, oh yeah, Chad was a bad kid. And so he got expelled from school. And a lot of it too is, I don't doubt there was a lot of bullying.
I wouldn't lose my bed, but my mom would make me get a job and pay rent.
Well, he's like 12, 13.
Okay, that means I would have a lemonade stand.
You're like, see,
like, I don't know.
Yeah, see, and I don't like.
I can't even imagine how my parents. I can't even imagine how they'd take it.
And so, but also at the same time, why is your child reacting so big and needing this bad negative attention? What is going on? And I think if we would have just talked to Chad, because guess what? When Jody Hildebrandt came around and just gave him some fucking attention, he changed his behavior. So it tells me homeboy just wanted a hug.
Yeah,
I mean, because I feel so bad for
he
that
didn't want.
kid.
It was so clear he didn't want to record. She was like telling him what to say, and
and like getting mad that he wasn't excited. And he's like, I don't want to do this, and she's like, you don't want $10? And he's like, no, I don't give a fuck about $10. So like, what the fuck?
Give me a fucking hug.
So that is why Jody came into the picture. Jody was recommended. Jody gets Chad on a phone call, and Chad's like, I'm excited to start new. And I think this is where some of this therapy is nice, like especially for a kid that's in trouble a lot or an addict. It's like they're ready. No, you're not. You're trying to bullshit me. I don't want to be bullshitted. I can tell you're not ready, because if you were ready, you would be making decisions that weren't these to have to fucking call me. Yeah. Like, so no, you're not ready. You're just trying to bamboozle me. And he found, like, oh shit, someone's willing to stand up to me now. Which also tells me, like, someone just had to stand up to him a little bit, like, stop bullshitting. What do you really feel? And then the kid's better instantly. Like, are you out of your mind? That's all it needed. So so she starts coming in, and then Jody has a issue with her. Jody's house is possessed by demons, because that's the only thing that makes sense. And Jody's house is possessed by demons and possessing her. So she, she's got to move in with the Franks. So what does Ruby do? Kick out her oldest daughter from her bedroom. And it's like, you're going to go to college in 2 weeks. You might as well leave now. I'm going to move Jody into your room. And then Jody moves into the room. And Jody starts to be a part of the everyday household. But gosh darn it, that sexual sin comes back in. I just can't believe it. Oh, and let me just add, Kevin's like, yeah, that's a demon. The fucking husband's like, that's a demon. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's the only logical thing that could happen right now for this lesbian looking woman and my wife who doesn't want to touch me anymore to live in the same bedroom. I think it's a demon. I think that's the most logical thing that could ever happen. Listen, I can talk about Kevin all fucking day long. And so Jody ends up moving into the bed with Ruby.
This is blissful ignorance.
Exactly.
He knew what was going. He didn't want to he didn't want to admit it to himself. So he was just like, oh, no news is good news.
Well, and I kind of feel like too, the religious haze. It's like, no, she's God honoring. She can't be a lesbian. Yeah. It's like, what? No. Actually, those two things have nothing to do with each other. Turns out.
As it turns out.
And so now, Kevin is going to daily meetings. Oh. And they're talking about Kevin's sexual sin. Weird. And how much of a liar he is. And how he needs to be kicked out of the house. Oh my God, it almost sounds like this is her fucking MO. Anyway, so then Kevin gets kicked out of the house and he just goes, it's the demon. Yeah. It's my sexual sin. Clearly, I'm hurting Jody. And he moves out. And then they kick out Chad.
Jody is Bobby Boucher's mother.
And then they kick out Chad because Chad's sexual sin.
Chad is the devil.
Chad's the devil. He's a teenage boy and he has testosterone. He needs to get out of here. Out now. Sexual sin causing my possession. And Dad and Chad, oh God, awful names. Dad and Chad are just like, okay, that makes sense. I ask too many questions. There's no fucking way in hell you'd kick me out of my house that easily.
Yeah.
Like, at all. So then time goes on. Kevin doesn't see the kids for a year. Jody and Ruby start a YouTube channel about parenting. This is a very, very controversial stream of videos. Like, the internet went fucking crazy. Because they pretty much say, like, pray the gay away camps are the only way to pray the gay out. Yeah. If your kid's transgender, then would you hold on to them or would you beat it out of them? I mean, like, truly was like, you force them into telling you the truth. You can get the gay out. You can get the whatever out. You can just the really awful child abuse ways of parenting. And so, but anyways, time goes on. And Ruby goes missing, leaving the kids at home by themselves all the time. Jody's kind of MIA too. And then one of the youngest boy gets out from Jody's fucking concrete basement and finds a neighbor. And the duct tape around his ankles are exposing his tendons on the back of his feet. Mm-hmm. He's got open wounds everywhere where they have cayenne pepper and, was it lemon? Oh, no, cayenne pepper and honey paste on the wounds. He has duct tape on him. He has been he hasn't been eating. I think his head shaved. His clothes don't fit. The neighbor who sees him is crying to the police officers about how horrible of a state he's in because they're so disgusted. The police officers are crying because they're seeing how sick this kid is. And then he's like, oh, my sister's at home too. I haven't seen her in 30 days. We're in 2 different rooms. Yeah. And so then Jody's like, you can't come in. You can't come into my house without a warrant. And they're like, fuck you. Yes, we can. There's an endangered child in here.
You don't need, there are extenuating circumstances.
Yep. If someone's in danger,
or exigent circumstances. Like someone's in trouble. Like, that's why, like, on SVU, you're like, what? Do you hear someone yelling? Like they're having sex. We're like, oh, you hear someone and
in.
someone's in
Yeah.
pain? Oh, I guess I can go in.
Yeah, exactly. So they find this little girl in the closet. She doesn't leave the closet for 6 hours. They have an EMT literally sitting on the floor with her.
I don't know how those
female.
kids aren't dead.
They're so lucky they're not. So they're sitting on the floor. They took 6 hours for her to believe her head shaved. They didn't even know if she was a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
Because her head was shaved, and they just were like, okay, what's going on, sweetie? Like, they didn't even know. So this is horrible. Fucking Kevin comes back, gets a text message. While all this is happening, hey, you need to go pick up your kids from the police station. And fucking Kevin asks questions? No, he thinks he's just going to go to the fucking police station and pick up his kids. What? I'm sorry.
Why are my kids at a police station?
Thank you. And then they go back and they're like, hey, Kevin, we need to talk about you. Mirandize him, which should have been the first ding, ding, ding. There's something really bad going on, because you don't do that unless it's like, I need to use this in court. So then they Mirandize him. He's sitting there and they're like, hey, by the way, your kids have been abused for the last year. And they're like, no. Kevin's like, no, that can't be true. They're like, you want to see photos?
Yeah.
We have photos of it. And he goes, no, I don't want to see that. And then fucking Kevin goes, I didn't want to be manipulated by the police. You think there's a demon in your home? The fuck are you talking about? You didn't want to be manipulated. Are you out of your dog shit mind? Oh my God. I was like, Kevin, my man. Kevin, my man. Okay, anyways. So then they're talking. Kevin gets everything. And then at the very end, Jody and Ruby admit to it. They plead guilty. They get 30 years each. No surprise there. I wish we could have had. Ruby had a journal of how she was abusing the kids too.
Oh yeah,
in detail. How he was walking in the sun, barefoot in the desert,
that should be
getting
evidence
sunburn. I mean, truly. I mean, she was in a psychosis.
Yeah,
she was in a religious psychosis. Anyways, so that's what's happening. And the golden gem of it all, at the end, someone asks Kevin if he still loves Ruby.
I think he loved the idea of like Ruby, who she was before all of this happened.
And motherfucker said yes. That motherfucker said yes. I think
I don't think he loves who she is now. I think he loved the woman he married, and then the way that it happened, the person she turned into.
I think if she messaged him tomorrow and was like, sorry, he'd be like, okay.
Yeah. Weak-minded like that.
What?
Yeah.
What? Your oldest daughter doesn't talk to you.
Yeah.
Your family pretty much X'd you out. Mm-hmm. Even before all of this. Even Ruby's family was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't. And this is the importance of like YouTube channels and the family vlog channels. They're so fucking poisonous. Like, they're so poisonous. You have Ryan's World. The kid's never played with his parents outside of a fucking phone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they never do anything. So, I don't know. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. All right, guys. Well, I think that was our episode. Holy moly. I mean,
Aaron Goodwin,
Gabby Petito,
Ruby Frank,
Nancy Grace, Tot Mom.
Yeah.
That was interesting. That is our true crime video.
I mean, it got to a point where it was like everything happened within like a 2-week period. We're like, well, I guess we're going to do a whole episode.
Yeah, I think, and also we're in the middle of Vegas madness. So it's like, let's go do something different. Let's go back to our roots, you know? All righty. Well, we are Reality Check.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.